Hey, welcome back to the den, guys. Today is gear review day. Time to give an update on some gear we've done previous videos on. And, well, I guess we should just get right to it. Alright, guys, welcome back. First up for review is the hip bag from the Wish website. For the most part, I have no complaints with it. It's held up relatively well over the last few months. Most everything is fine and functional the way it's supposed to be, except the rear zipper. It got caught on the inner lining here, probably due to the fact that I had it too full, and when I tried to get it off, it actually broke the zipper, and it came right off and went flying downriver. Yeah, we were outside when it broke. But other than that, I'm going to say that was my fault, because all the rest of the zippers are still nice and solid. I think I just had too much stuff in here. Well, that's how you check to see if it's any good. You kind of overstuff it a little bit, run it for a while, and see what happens. But now this is Charles's bag. Say hello, Charles.
Hello, Charles.
Minor birds, what can you do? Anyway, so far, other than the rear zipper, and that I'm going to say is my fault. I just smack him in the head. This is Charles's now. We put a little multi-tool on there for him to use. It's not in here at the moment. But yeah, so far, no major complaints with this other than the rear zipper. My fault. Good to go. Next. Next are these little chargers, and I'm going to cut some footage here in a minute of them outside. And you can see the black one's actually getting a little bit of a charge. And this one back here, uh-oh, there it goes. Way back there, get a little bit light. But yeah, I used one to charge a phone for a gentleman when we were camping out, and I used the other one to help charge my phone. Rather than to go through that again, let's just go to the video from outside right there. Alright, just a small update on these little Wish 5,000 milliamp solar chargers. As you can see, we're getting charged, and it's not very bright out today. We're getting the green light saying charging. But to prove that it's not a fluke, I have my Nomad 7 from Goal Zero, and with it open, let me get to the inside here real quick. I got a few extra cords in here. But here's our indicator. Even with it up, as you can see, it's not getting, I don't know if I'm getting in the right spot there or not. I have to look. As you can see, it's flashing. It's not getting enough sunlight. So, the little cheap charger seems to do a better job of gathering sunlight, which is surprising for such a cheap little charger. I'm just thinking, well, I stuff all this back inside here and pick up the ones I just dropped. So as far as an update on this, it's taking sunlight in this very dim shaded area. And if I pan the camera around, you'll see that there's not a whole lot of light on the ground. But for $9, 5,000 milliamp hour, it's doing a pretty good job. Now I will say that it only charges at 200 milliamps. That's not very fast, and it will take a few days to recharge from dead to full just using sunlight alone. So for the price, you can pick up 2 or 3 of these. I currently have 2. I have this one and a blue one. I'm not going to complain. I can keep both of them on the outside of a bag. I used one for charging my phone and one for charging another gentleman's phone while camping a while back. And yeah, it took 3 days to recharge them using sunlight only. Charging via USB is pretty quick, about 2 hours. So, you know, that's decent. If you're with your car and you need to recharge it quickly, you can always plug it into your lighter and recharge it via USB cord that way. So, all in all, I want to say I'm impressed with these for their price. They've done a great job. They pick up sunlight when nothing else will. So, that's the update on this little 5,000 milliamp solar charger. Okay, we're back with our little UST survival knife. This is the sheath I made out of Kydex. Locks in nice and solid. I like that. Sits up higher now. I did, as you can see, I did do a few changes to it. I have big hands, and sometimes hanging on to things for me with carpal tunnel is difficult. So I needed to increase the handle size. Rather than trying to find some micarta and drill holes in it and all that stuff, I just took some toolbox lining, wrapped some paracord, and it's not pretty. You know, it's just for me. And yeah, I liked it. It held up nice. It gives me a nice solid grip. I can plant my thumb right up in here. I don't personally care for the choil. It's just me, I don't like it. If I slip and, whoops, I prefer to keep my hand back here and control my thumb up top. It's just me. As you can see, I did grind this down a little bit so I can get a better, more of a 90 degree for ferro rods or scraping some wood. I'm still not a fan of this, but it is what it is. The blade is a lot sharper now than what it was, and after using it for some bushcraft camping, still can't even talk. Sorry, I have a child bugging me and pulling on my shoulder. Bushcraft camping, there we go. I'll get it someday. Yeah, I'll even leave that in there. Anyway, it needs to be resharpened. And yeah, the tip is still gone. Can we get it in there now? Come on, camera, focus. That's not going to do a very good job. But yeah, the very tip of it is gone. And that was my fault because and it disappeared. So yeah, the tip will disappear if you're not careful. I was deliberately not being careful. But yeah, so far so good with this little guy. He's done pretty decent. I'm not going to complain. It's a great backup knife to your main knife. And at the end of this video, I have a secret I'm going to spill. So let's get on to the next item. And the next item up is our shovel. And we used it a little bit this last camping trip. Kind of showed it off to a few people. And still haven't worked on this yet. It's still not sharp enough to really cut cordage. But overall, it did a fairly good job. Using it as a hatchet, really wasn't impressed with it. So, I mean, it can be done. I did sharpen this a little bit, so it gives a little bit better edge. It does bite in a lot better now. As a shovel, it's a shovel. It works like a shovel. I didn't really put this to use. It's sharp, but not as sharp as I would like. But it will, it could work. I just didn't have no use for it. Didn't need it. I didn't try cutting anything down with it. It's just not a saw blade. Maybe if I needed to cut a piece of vine or something, that would work great. Or if I had some rope, I could cut it that way. But other than that, it still works great. Have had no problems with it. All the joints are still good and solid, and almost no wear. The ferro rod I am going to be replacing. I did find one to replace it with, so I'm going to pull the end of that out, stick a new ferro rod in it, and when I go to use it for anything hard, I'll make sure I remove that end from it so we don't have another breakage. So that's it for this one. Alright, the next is our little FRX1 radio. from Eton. This worked great. When we were camping, I set it in the tent, found a radio station for it, and put it on low, and Charles listened to it for 3 hours straight. Still had plenty of juice left in it. I haven't done nothing with it since then. Well, it's actually been sitting in my bag. I haven't charged or anything, so even after 3 hours of running, it still has battery left in it. I was impressed with it. We were sitting in a bit of a hollow, and we're surrounded on 3/4 of the way around us with a hill, so it still picked up a radio station even with this small little stubby antenna. That's not that big, as you can see. It's only 12 inches long, extended, so it still picked up a decent radio station. It was country, not my favorite, but good for Charles. And yeah, I liked it. It held up well, even in camping. So got down to 45-ish degrees that night, and it still has plenty of juice left in it. Worked the following morning as well. I didn't leave it on all night, but yeah, still picked up the weather band down there in the holler. So overall, this was a good investment too. Excuse me, on to the next one. And the final one for today is the Cree Ultrafire flashlights. I'm going to do some footage outside. I'm actually going to attempt to beat the daylights out of one of these. I've got 7 of them left still, so, well, 2 of the actual Cree Ultrafires, and I got 5 of the knockoffs. So we're going to beat the daylights out of one of the knockoffs because it's the exact same thing. The only difference is there's a different O-ring in the top here. But yeah, I'm not going to break my good Crees. But we are going to do some outside footage of beating the daylights out of one of these just to see how it holds up, and that'll be right there. Alright guys, time to do some thrashing and testing and see how well this holds up. So I'm going to leave it off first, and we're going to see if we can get the crenulated bezel to do anything here. Nice little dents. Still works. So now let's do it with it on. We'll leave it on high. Eek. I think I made something mad. Ow, that hurts. And it's still working. Well, I do have a stream right here, but I'm not going to dunk it in water because it doesn't say waterproof on the generic ones. But everything still seems to be working the way it's supposed to. So far, this is holding up pretty good. We'll go do a drop test on some concrete here in just a moment. Alright, so our first test is going to be from about head height. So we're looking around and drop it. As soon as the traffic clears. And here we go. Yeah, still working. Follow and strobe. Alright, from up here. Yeah, it changed functions. Let's see. Still works. A little bit of damage on the bezel. So let's try a little higher. Let's go about 20 feet. Ooh, that did sound good. But high, low, strobe, nothing broken. A little road rash on it, but everything still seems to be working. Alright, let's go. See, that's about 30 feet up there, so we're going to go as high as the roof and let it crash. Oh. Didn't really get that in the camera, so let's try again. Oh, that didn't sound too hot. We're still working. Still adjustable. So it works. A little bit of road rash on it. The generic Cree Ultra Fire held up. So if the generic will hold up, I'm sure the actual Crees will. So, okay, let's get back inside. Okay, welcome back. So that's the review of those items so far. And the special little secret I'm gonna let out. I've spoken to a company here in Ohio that's willing to do a custom blade for me. And it is a one of. I could find nothing like it anywhere else. And it's pretty unique. It's a bushcraft style knife. It's not going to excel at everything all by itself, but it's going to do quite well in a good many tasks, at least as far as I'm concerned. We'll see once we get it made. The nice thing about this is, once we have the first one in-house and we've checked it out, made sure it's functioning the way I intend it to, when we get enough subscribers here on the channel, I'd like to hit 1,000 subscribers. I will do a giveaway for a second knife just like it. So there'll only be 2 of them like it. This company is willing, if you request, to make him. The blade is going to retail at over $300. It's not going to be a cheap one. It's going to retail for close to $300. It's going to be my Micarta scale handle, D2 steel, and a Kydex sheath. So if we get enough subscribers, I'll do a review, giveaway of it. First, we got to get the first one in house. So, hey, thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Hey, this is Dave. Thanks for watching the Den. If you like what you see, hit the little subscribe button that's going to be up here or down there. If you want to know when we release a new video, hit that little bell icon, click receive notifications, and that way you know when we release a new video. Again, thanks for watching the Den. I'm Dave.
I'm Charles.
Remember, keep them loaded.
Keep it safe.
Peace.